with you, where we can both fall out on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on little tunes out on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on with you on the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, the edge, on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on with you on the edge with you. I'm on the edge with you. I'm on the edge with you.
All right, you guys, here we go. Hey, everybody, can you hear me okay? Is sound okay for everybody? Welcome to our first official family night that you guys opted for. Love that name. Welcome to the team training. It's Thursday night, October 5th. I am Brittany. This is just a quick little glimpse of what our recognition piece will look like. Hi, you guys. We are so excited to launch this new style of training, this new season of team calls, this new season of family night every single week to reconnect, to really just dive in together as a team to figure out and learn and grow and help more people, especially as we end this year. So I'm going to give you guys just a quick brief rundown of how team calls will go. Team trainings will go, sort of what it's going to be set up like. It's going to start every week at 8:52. Ashley will be on here most week. That was my fault. She needed to plug in to host a little dance party before we get started, just to get the energy up, just to sort of shake off whatever your day had for you and get focused in here. Quick housekeeping. This webinar is going to operate best if you don't have a lot of other windows open. So if your webinar starts to get glitchy or starts to lag, be sure to close down other windows that are operating, because it operates on bandwidth. So at the beginning of every call, we will have a slideshow of our rank advancements for that previous week. So if you guys saw on the Coach Family, I posted something called the DU Love Fest. I'm going to show you, just because I want to make sure nobody misses this. Really quick, I'm going to show you. Hey. Okay, so this is what we're looking for in the Coach Family page. DU Love Fest. When you have a coach on your team that rank advances, that rank advancement graphic and congratulatory message needs to go in that thread, because that is what I'm going to use to create the slideshow for recognition for team call. So we want to give our coaches who are growing their organizations and building their teams a lot of well-deserved love and spotlight them on our team calls, but they have to be in that thread. So if you've been posting them on the wall in the past, it's just a slight change. Now we're posting them in the thread of the DU Love Fest comment. I'll post that every Thursday. And so as you can read in one of my previous posts explaining this, next week, next Thursday, a week from today, I will be doing today's advancement. So make sure you get your advancements on there. Make sure you get your shout outs on there if you want your teams to be recognized on the team call. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I want you guys to do is just utilize this chat box as much as possible. I want to know, what team within Dynasty United are you from? So if you're from Imperfectly Balanced, if you're from Upgraded Alliance, if you're from Beyond Me, whatever team you're on, I want you to type that out in the chat box. I want your coaches to see who is here. We have over 200 coaches on the call right now. We can't see the names unless you're in the chat box. So don't be scared of the chat box. Make sure that you plug in, whether you're new or a veteran coach. It's really important that we all see you guys here representing your teams within Dynasty United. Okay, you guys, so I am Brittany LeGette. I am hosting this call because I'm kicking us off as our mama bear, as the founder, proud founder of Dynasty United. I had a lot of input and a lot of help with recreating the structure of these team calls, getting back to the community that has meant so much to us, coaches who have been around for a little while. Brief summary, in the first few years that I was a coach, 2013, 14, and 15, we did team calls every single week. We really focused in and made that community a priority, and that is what we're getting back to in a new way, of course. But that's the essence of this, is to plug in, highlight the community aspect of this, allow new coaches to really feel loved, celebrated, and give them an opportunity to learn unique, small topics every single week. So new coaches, if you're a new coach, please type in the chat box how long you've been a coach. So to me, a new coach is anything that's like 3 months or less, maybe even longer than that, depending on what your work is, how much you're working. But if you're a new coach, I would love to see the new coaches chatting in the box right now, so that we can kind of get a feel for who is new on our team and in our tribe tonight. Awesome. Welcome, you guys. So this is probably your first big team call. So huge welcome to you. We have mapped out like 30 awesome topics every single week to really serve our new coaches, our new business builders, and come alongside them and give you guys really great fresh content that you can apply to your businesses. So I thought, what better way to kick this off than just to start on inviting. Inviting is sometimes one of the scariest parts for some coaches, and I really want to demystify it. I really want to give you some really solid advice. So we're going to look through some slides tonight. We're going to look at a couple short videos, and I'm going to get us out of here by 9:42. I have something at the very end of the call. It's a challenge, and it's a very practical plug-in for you guys. So I want you to make sure that you stick around so that you see those two announcements at the very end. And I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm just looking at my agenda here. Okay, so let's dive into the call. You guys, please utilize the chat box as much as possible, whether it's something that you agree with, maybe it's an aha moment, maybe it's something that you already learned and you're already implementing. I want you to be as active as possible in that chat box, because that's how we create community, and it's not just me on the screen. Okay, so let me pull up my slides really quick for us, and we will get going. Okay. Hang tight. Hang tight, guys. Here we go. It's coming. I need to, I'll just screen share. Hang tight, guys. This is kind of how it goes when you're using a new platform. Do, do, do. Okay, I might just screen share because it's not uploading my slides very quickly. I don't want you guys to have to wait any longer. Okay, I'm going to screen share, and then if it uploads, great. All right, here we go. Okay, let me know if you can see that okay. Is that clear for everybody? You should just see something that says inviting. Okay, awesome, you guys. All right, so tonight's team call is called Success in Inviting. My goal here is to get to the point of inviting and to help you really move beyond the fear or the hesitation when you are inviting, when you're practicing inviting, and when you are sort of finding your rhythm with inviting. Okay, so again, my name is Brittany LeGette. I am a proud founder of Dynasty United. I'm a 15-star diamond, and I've been a coach since 2013. I've been inviting for a long time now, almost 5 years in January. And so I've had a lot of trial and error. And I want to tell you that there's not just one way to invite. To me, the best way to invite is in such a way where you feel proud of what you're saying and what you're sharing, what you're communicating. So if my style is not really, doesn't sit well with you, then keep trying and find your own rhythm. But the point is here, inviting is must. Inviting is one of our vital behaviors, and the first vital behavior for a reason. We cannot grow our teams, pass this gift on to other people without inviting. Okay, so let me give you the lineup here. We're going to talk about the different types of invites. To me, I feel like there are about 5 or so different types of invites that you can participate in, and I'm going to sort of describe and give you examples of all of these. So the first one is inviting your friends and family to join you. I think that I put these in order of what makes the most sense. So first, we invite our friends, we invite our family, people that already know us. Next, we invite our acquaintances. Next, we invite our new contacts, the new connections that we're making, whether it be through social media or in person, local meetups or local groups or your kids, events or schedules. The next thing is called donuts, which some of you might know if you're my new coaches or if you've done my new coach training. This is something presented from Carl Deichler that I think is brilliant. And then next, or lastly, is our public invites. I'm going to introduce a concept to you called attract, connect, and invite, and that's going to be our entire call. You guys, I want to say something really quick about public invites. What I find happens so often is coaches rely solely on public invites. And if my lineup is in order of, when we should be doing these invites, you see that public is last in that group of 5. So many times I see coaches only relying on their public invites to help new people or to find people who are interested. And that's the first mistake that a lot of coaches make, and even veteran coaches. If I rely too heavily on my public invites and I'm not connecting one-on-one with people, having honest, genuine conversations with people, I'm going to fall short and I'm going to be frustrated. So just take note of the order of the lineup and just sort of take a mental note of how you've been working your personal business. Okay, so let's dive in. Here's my made-up statistic from my 5 years of experience. I believe that about 50%, about half of newer coaches are terrified to invite people to what they offer because they are not focusing on the gift that they have, and they are far too worried about what others may think. So, little typo there. Hope that doesn't make you guys crazy, you teachers in the webinar. So 50% of coaches are terrified to invite people to what they offer because they are not focusing on the actual gift that it is, and the gift that they have to pass on to somebody else. They're much too worried about what they're going to say to that person, how they're going to come across to that person, if they're going to be offensive, if they're going to come across as annoying to that person. And so that's half coaches. And then I'm talking the other half, I think it's sort of split 50-50. The coaches who aren't scared of inviting, maybe they're not scared. Maybe that doesn't make them timid or make them worried, but they simply run out of people to invite because they stop focusing on expansion and new connections. So 2 groups of coaches here, 50%. Half of you guys, half of us are terrified to invite people because we're not focused on the gift that it is. We're focusing on the sale, or maybe too worried about what other people think. The other half of us, we're not necessarily scared to invite people, but we simply run out of people to invite because we stop focusing on expansion, finding new people, and making new connections. So you might identify with one of those. And if so, I'm going to give you some practical tips to work through that. And honestly, I think the reason I put this slide up here is just to help people remember that it's something that we work through. It's nothing to be embarrassed of. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just something that we have to address, and we have to build our skill set to move past that. Okay, so this quote really means a lot to me. I've used it a lot in different seasons of my business, but I think this really, really applies to inviting. The quote, and I wish I would have cited who says this, maybe you guys know, but the quote is, very often the emotional energy of making a decision is greater than the physical energy of executing that decision. So think of inviting here. Very often the emotional energy of making a decision to invite is greater than the physical energy of executing that decision to invite. Does that make sense? So we work it up in our heads to be this huge, monumental, big thing. And so then we just don't invite because we've worked it up to be this huge issue, when in reality, it's just simply inviting someone to come join you and do something fun that you love, right? So we build up this huge, we just sort of, this task swell, or we've imagined it to be this thing that doesn't actually exist. We've created all this fear around inviting. And it's like, man, it takes way more energy to fear it than to actually do it. So, okay, so who is first? When we're inviting, who is first? The people you already know. Those are the first people that we invite. You want to invite the people who trust you already first, not because you want to make a sale, but because you want them to experience this with you. And they are great practice for you. They know you, they know your intentions, and this is fun. So you want them to join you. So think of your family, think of your friends, think of an old friend, maybe that you lost connection with, but they still know you. So those are the people who are first. Those are the people who I want you to think of first. And if you're already thinking, oh, I don't want to sell to my family, get selling out of your head. Remember the gift. Remember the fun. Maybe you're not having fun in your challenge group, but that doesn't mean other people aren't, right? So just remember, people enjoy having a virtual community that support. It's fun for people to be plugged in like this. It's a new experience for a lot of people. You know, you might be operating under the assumption of, oh, this isn't fun because I've been doing the same group for like 6 months and I'm sort of burnt out on it. Well, that's because you're burnt out. It's still fun for other people, or maybe you just need to switch up how you do things to make it fun for you as well. So my suggestion here is to simply ask your friends and family to join you. I always tell my coaches that excitement is a catalyst for success. Use your excitement as a means, as a way to share what you're doing and invite them to come along with you. You guys, all of my family said no at first. Every single one of them, and most of my close friends. So, but that doesn't mean I didn't invite them. That means I planted the seed. I let them know what I was doing. And, eventually most of them came around when it was the right time for them. But if it's not the right time for them, or if it's not a good fit for them, then it's not a good fit for them. And that's okay. All right. So, Okay. So friends and family are first. Okay. So what would this invite sound like? How might it look? I asked a couple coaches to sort of chime in with me and give me some real life examples of what they do, what approach they take in each section of these invites. So remember, we're talking about inviting your friends and family. So I paraphrase this from the video I'm about to show you. But this is an example of what that might look like, what that might sound like. Hey, I'm guessing this is friends and family, right? Hey, I'm guessing you've seen that I've launched this health and fitness business. Your support is really important to me, and I would love for you to know a little bit more about what I do. I get to hook people up with tools that really help them reach their goals. I might even say reach their health goals or their fitness goals. Would you mind watching these 3 short videos and give me your feedback? That's a great way to initiate the conversation. I'm just queuing things up here. And get things rolling with your friends and family. Okay, so let me get going on this video. Hang tight. We're going to do this right now.
Inviting your closest friends and family can be scary if you make Inviting your closest friends and family can be scary if you make it scary. So I think people tend to like ask their friends and family to like make this giant change, and the friends and family don't even know what it is. So make it simple and give them something very simple to look at. So a couple ideas would be to put together a playlist on YouTube under your YouTube account, or just with like several links, like what products you think they would be most into. One about Shakeology that you think really like is good for them. One about maybe on demand that you think is like, ooh, this gets the point across. And one about one of our other products that you think that would really speak to them, just depending on maybe it's digestive things, if it's somebody older or if they're into workouts, the performance line. Let the tools do the talking, and just say something like, you know, hey, I'm guessing you've seen, I've launched this health and fitness business. You're my person, and I really value and trust you. And I realize that a lot of my confidence comes, unfortunately, from how I feel my friends and family view me. And so I would love your support in venturing out. I would love for you to know a little bit more about what I do, so that if you hear people, you know, in your life that maybe have a need for what I do, you could send them my way. Like, would that be cool? There's a lot of things I offer as a health and fitness coach, namely support and accountability through, make it really brief, you know, through a private tracker app and a supportive Facebook group, weekly Zoom calls, one-on-one coaching when people need it. But I also, one of the things, I hook them up with tools that work and that are really awesome. And so I'm not going to ask you to look at everything I offer. I think that's annoying. But I picked out 3 that I think that I'm guessing the people that you're around might be the most interested in. Would you just watch these 3 little videos and give me your feedback about them? Like your feedback about how you view them, how the people around them. I think it would really, really help me with that. Would you do that? And they're going to say yes. And so then you're going to say, thank you so much. Here they are. When's the best time to check in? It's going to take you a total, each of these are this many minutes. It's going to take you a total of 10 minutes. I don't know if you want to do it while you're cooking or whatever. When's the best time to check back in and get your feedback? So the feedback, this is GoPro. If you haven't read GoPro, go read GoPro. And then the other one is that I did personally with my family that finally got like the other 6 of them on, is that Beachbody does different challenges. It has a Beachbody challenge, and then they do sometimes contests. And so my sister was going to adopt my son's brother, and she needed money for adoption. So I said, why don't all 8 of us in our family, our extended family, enter this Beachbody spring challenge and try, and then
we're going to win. One of us is going to win. I'm telling you, we're going to go all the way in. People don't go all the way in. We're going to go in. We're going to like keep each other accountable. And then whoever wins is going to give the money to the adoption. So like doing a family challenge or friend challenge and trying to win like a Beachbody contest or the Beachbody challenge, and just say at the very least we get a free shirt. That's also a way, like a camaraderie way that people could do it, like giving them a greater cause that they could work towards, that, and then they get to experience the products. And my family that was very not into it is now obsessed, at least with Beachbody On Demand. So those are just a couple ideas. Is basically, don't ask them to become a coach. Don't ask them to join a challenge group. Ask them to look at more information.
Okay, so how awesome was that? Super helpful. How fun is it to talk about doing a friend challenge or a family challenge? I just thought that was brilliant. So that's where I got this wording from. Hey, I'm guessing you've seen that I've launched this health and fitness business. Your support is really important to me. I would love for you to know a little bit more about what I do. I get to hook people up with tools that really help them reach their goals. Would you watch these 3 short videos and give me your feedback? And then you can go on, once they give you their feedback, you can talk a little bit more about it. You can suggest challenges. You can, just ask them for some advice or for some of their feedback. So I thought that was brilliant, Ashley. Thank you so much for taking time to share that. I thought that was super, super helpful. Ashley, founder of Team Thrive, huge help to me always in bouncing ideas off. You're just always such a huge resource, Ash. So thank you so much for doing that. Super, super appreciated. Okay, let's dive into the next step. So after friends and family, what's next? So in my opinion, it's your acquaintances. They may not know you very well personally, but they remember you from school, or you have mutual friends. Basically, you're not a complete stranger to them. So these are 4 examples of amazing leaders on my team that I get to call my coaches, who are acquaintances of mine. So Jessica Masalbas, Lindsay Goins, Ali Schroeder, Shay Phillips. These are all people who aren't really they weren't close friends of mine. They didn't really know me personally. I didn't know them personally. But through the, social media and some mutual friends, Allie and I met in a coffee shop, but everybody else, it was like a mutual friend. And so we were acquaintances right off the bat. So these people you can think of as just people who you're not a complete stranger to, right? So okay, let's dig into this example. What would you say to an acquaintance? Maybe what's an example of what an invite would sound like? So for me, this is one that I queued up. I think that it's important to be bold and share exactly what it is that you're doing. So I'm going to play this video first, and then we will do the little takeaway here. Queuing this up right now, y'all.
Hey, so when you are inviting an acquaintance of yours to join you in a challenge group, it doesn't have to be awkward, it doesn't have to be lengthy. Something that I would say would go something a little bit like this. Hey girl, I just saw your recent post about your puppy, your kids, your vacation, whatever the situation was. And I was thinking about you. I'm not sure if you saw my previous post about these virtual challenge groups that I do, but they're a lot of fun. I'm seeing incredible results myself, and I thought I would just reach out and ask, have you ever thought about doing something like that with me? Do you have any fitness goals of your own? Simple as that.
Okay, so when you're talking to an acquaintance, my suggestion to you guys is to just keep it so super simple. I have the YouTube links that you guys can look at in a little bit, but essentially the gist of this one is to talk about their recent post. Maybe you saw something that they posted. Maybe it was, like I said in the video, a picture of their dog or their baby or a vacation they went on. Talk about their recent post and then refer to your recent post. I'm not sure if you saw my last post, but I am building my next virtual challenge group. I'm not sure if you've ever considered it, but I was thinking of you and I thought I'd send you a quick invite. Do you have any fitness goals? So again, keep it light, keep it personal by addressing something that they've recently posted, show interest in their life, and then refer back to your post. That's why it's so important for for all of us to be sharing publicly what it is that we're doing, what it is that we have coming up, what we're excited about with our program, so that people can start to say, oh, okay, I saw that you posted that. I have some clue what you're talking about. It's not completely out of thin air. When you reach out to these acquaintances, you connect with them and then you send them a quick invite, or just ask if they've ever considered joining something like that. Okay, we're gonna keep going. That was by me. Okay, so now let's talk about new contacts. So these are very important. So new contacts, inviting people that are essentially strangers, people who are brand new to you. This is where your business longevity comes into question. Let me say that again. New contacts. This is where the longevity of your business comes into question. Are you adding new contacts? Are you connecting and eventually inviting them to something that you offer? This takes time. Everyone should be starting this now, though. No stress, just start. These are strangers. So these are 4 examples of amazing coaches on my team who are essentially strangers to me. Christine Barnes, Corey Ulbrich, Julia Meek, and then Julia Callow. So you guys, new contacts. This is very, very, very important. So having these conversations, making the contacts, making the new connections is just very important. And you don't have to have the most amazing funnel system set up to find new contacts. You just have to get started. I promise you guys, I've been in this business for almost 5 years now. I promise you, almost everything that you do in this business, you get started and you figure it out as you go. You figure out better ways to do everything little by little as you do a lot of trial and error. So don't be freaked out if you don't feel organized with this. Don't be freaked out if you don't have a bunch of templates ready for people. Just start. Just get going, okay? So what would an invite to this type of person sound like? How might that look? So I asked Nicolette to hop in here and give us a quick little rundown of what she might say to a new contact before or as she's inviting. So let me cue this up, you guys.
Hey, Nicola Anderson here. I wanted to take a couple minutes and share a few examples of what I would say to a new friend or prospect in order to invite them to a challenge group. So first of all, if you're talking to niche market people and you're connecting with your specific niche, this should not be very hard. For example, my niche market is teachers, and mothers of small children. So it's easy to segue a conversation from, hey, how are you? I saw we became friends, to, listen, this is what I'm doing and I know how it's going to help you. For example, if I connected with a mom with small children, I would ask her how old her kids are, how does she find any time to do anything for herself? And from there, I would say, listen, I don't know if this is something you'd be interested in, but I can tell you exactly what I do. That's been a complete game changer for me. And I've been able to get into the best shape of my life, even after having 2 babies in 2 years. I host these private online health and fitness accountability groups where each individual is fully equipped to get guaranteed results. It's amazing for busy ladies and moms. We can work out anywhere we want, even with kids crawling all over us. Plus, the nutrition program is super simple and the kids love it. My kids are very involved with my clean eating, my healthy shake, everything that I'm doing. It's family friendly. I would love to share more information with you if you're open to hearing more about it. Simple as that. Another example would be teachers. It's the beginning of the school year. Teachers are running around like chicken with their heads cut off, eating, breathing, sleeping, lesson plans, evaluations, students, parent contact, and for like everything. And so to message some teacher friends, new teacher contacts, ask them how they're doing, ask them how they're surviving. Ask them if they're setting aside any time for themselves during the day. It's so important to do that. Otherwise, they're going to burn out and lose this incredible passion that they have for education. I know because I've been there. So, hey, listen, I've got to tell you something. Maybe you're ready for this, maybe you're not, but I host these private online accountability groups. I think you would love it. I actually have lots of other teachers involved who are getting incredible results. It's fitness, it's accountability, it's nutrition, it's simplified clean eating. This will save you time in your day. yet still hold you accountable to taking care of you and being the best version of you so that you can continue being the best teacher that those children need. I would love to share more about it if you're open to learning. I found that a key piece of the invite process is actually asking their permission to start to share the details of your challenge group instead of just saying, hey, listen, I host these challenge groups, and going into all the details of everything. Give them a little snippet of it, ask their permission if they're open to learning more, get them excited, get them curious, and then share the details.
Okay, so how amazing was that? Simple, clear cut, makes a lot of sense. So some of the key things here that I thought were just brilliant, I mean the whole thing, but I just jotted down a few things. Ask their permission to start sharing the details of your challenge group first. That is so considerate, and it gets the conversation going. When you're talking to your niche market, it should be easy to talk to them. So make sure you're paying attention to that as well. Quotes. I don't know if this would be something you're interested in, and then add your personal story snippet. She talked about, her experience as a teacher, her experience with 2 kids, that sort of thing. Add in your personal piece to it. Don't just be a Beachbody robot. Make sure that you're being personal, personalizing wherever you can. Okay, thank you so much, LeGette. She's the founder of Upgraded Alliance. She's a 7-star diamond elite coach, and she's super awesome. Thank you so much, LeGette, for doing that. Okay, guys, everyone on a meal plan, you're going to hate me, but donuts. Okay. This is really important. This is a very important concept that I have to be honest with you, I never considered it before Carl introduced it. Carl, myself, Ali Schroeder, Jessica Maselbis, Julie Meek, and about 2,000 other coaches. Some of you probably were in that group. We're in this group leading up to Coach Summit, so in the summer, and it was all about how to help. And so he introduced this concept called donuts. And it's something that I teach to my new coaches now because I think it's so smart. And so I'm gonna play a video that explains it in detail, and I really want you to listen closely. But the whole point here is donuts are to lighten up the invite process. So many times, again, like I referred to in the beginning of the call, we are so heavy on the invites. We're like, I don't want to do it. It's such a struggle. It's such a burden. And so this is to lighten it up, to lighten up the mood, to make it not be such a drag, such a burden. And the goal is to do 5 donuts every single day. 5 donuts, 5 donuts before you start your day. That's your daily warm-up, 5 direct reach outs to people who were not expecting to hear from you. They're not follow-ups, they're cold invites. And again, I've never done it this way until he introduced this concept, and it's not so bad. So I'm gonna play this video to explain it, but something that I wanna just sort of add to this is it could be, you could reach out and send a donut to somebody who commented on one of your posts from the day before, or maybe they messaged you a long time ago and you never got back to them or something. But it's a brand new contact. So let me just find my video really quick, and then we will be going. Okay, so listen in really closely to this because it's brilliant. And I think it'll really encourage you guys. There's an analogy that you're not going to want to miss.
Hey guys, it's Carl, and could I be any platter today? This is my most plaid ever. Okay, I wanted to talk about the exercise that we did this morning because it was very interesting feedback. People sort of being out of their comfort zone, waking up, and first thing, inviting 5 people who weren't expecting an invite. And basically, I look at it as a warm-up. And I know that for many people, you're like, I would never train this. I would never ask my people to do it. And many veterans even said, I've never done this in my entire career as a coach. But let me tell you something. As a person who's been a salesman in my career, I know that the hardest thing to do is a cold call. So let me use a metaphor about why I call this process actually 5 donuts. What we did this morning was 5 donuts. Have you ever swung a baseball bat? It's actually hard to swing a baseball bat and hit a baseball. And you got to get ready for it, and then, but if you're a batter, what you don't do is immediately go up to bat and start facing a pitcher. What you do first is get comfortable with the bat, and you put a donut on it, right? So that's the donut, and then you take some swings. And so what I'm suggesting is every morning you train your team to take those most difficult, heavy swings of salesmanship by just reaching out to 5 people. 5 donuts a morning. You wake up, if you're going to be serious about this business, and you take 5 swings. Then the rest of the day, then you're like, oh, having these other conversations is easy to swing. It's not nearly as hard because I've already warmed up these other people. I already have relationships with these other people. When you immediately wake up and take the edge off by swinging a heavier bat, and that is these quick little cold calls, quick little invitations, you are in the rhythm of the vital behavior of invite, invite, invite. I strongly recommend, particularly for your coaches who are just getting going, using very simple language like, hey, saw that you liked one of my posts. I'm starting a challenge group. We're all going to be doing Core to 4 starting May 8th, or 21-Day Fix starting May 15th, or UV2 starting May 16th, whatever it is. You just quick little super light invitation to somebody who wouldn't have been expecting it, and you just shake it off. You just shake off the difficulty of hitting a baseball with those 5 warm-up swings, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to talk to people. I'm just ready to do this. My intent with reaching out to those 5 people, those 5 swings, was just to try to help them. That's how you're bulletproof, right? So that's what I'm advocating. Train it to your teams, particularly the new people who they just need to get out there and take that risk and hear that no, or just put it out there, and they might get a response that says, what are you talking about? Or they might get a response that says, I'm in, or they might get a response that says, no thank you, I'm not interested at all. But at least they took the lid off. They shook off the cobwebs of not being able to reach out to people. So that's what I'm advocating. When we say invite, 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 I don't want it to be a heavy process every time. I want it to also be a light process. We're trying to help people. We got 300 million people sick and tired and overweight and struggling that we can help. It doesn't have to be a heavy, highly maneuvered process. It can also be a light touch. So that's the morning warm-up we did today. 5 donuts, that's what I'm calling it. You can call it what you want. You might not even subscribe to it, but I personally, when I would do sales, I would start my day. This is when I was back in production sales in the mid-'80s. I would start my day with cold calls. Knock out 3, 4, 5 cold calls. Sometimes they were just messages. Sometimes people would pick up, but it just took the edge off. And then I would go back to working my list, or I'd go back to what I would call my warm market or prospects that I was following up with because I had already done a warm up. All right, that's it. I'm going to go answer this phone. Have a good day. Keep on working it. I'm here to help.
Okay, right? We're bulletproof because our intention is truly to help people. So think about this, consider this. You guys all said it in the comments. It is truly a way to get warmed up. And I saw somebody else say, the more you do it, the better you get. And that is absolutely 110% true with this vital behavior of the invitation. There is some skill involved, you guys. And with anything that involves a skill set, you're not going to get better unless you keep practicing. And so all of that 50% of us who are terrified to invite, and so we just don't, you think we're ever going to get confident inviting? Do you think we're ever going to feel better about inviting or feel more comfortable? No, because we're not actually doing it. So this is a really great way to rip the Band-Aid off, to swing the heavy swings so that you can get on with your day and everything else will feel much lighter. So you can approach this by either finding brand new people that may be in a common interest group, or maybe it's somebody that you met at the dry cleaners, or you can approach it by using your post and people who liked that post and using those people as the one that you would just say, hey, I have no idea if this is out of left field, but I'm getting ready to, like what Carl said, I'm getting ready to put together my October 21 Day Fix group or my January 80 Day Obsession group. And I just thought I might send you an invite. Have you ever thought about doing something like that? Is it of interest to you at all? And like you said, maybe it's heck no, or maybe it's what are you talking about? And that's a question that you can start to engage and you can connect and you can ask more questions to see how Beachbody can help them. So that's what a donut is. I know it's scary. Trust me, I'm an introvert through and through. But it is a strategy that works and it gets you out of your comfort zone. It helps you to treat this business like a business. And you never know. You never know what's going to be on the other side of that conversation. It may be somebody, and I don't mean to be cheesy, but it may be somebody who desperately needs life change. It may be somebody who desperately needs positive community or support. Who knows? And so remember what a gift this is. Just because we have it to ourselves and we've been hanging on to it for who knows how long, maybe a couple months, maybe a few years, I think we lose that sparkle. We forget how important this is to offer to other people. So that's what a donut is. I showed you Carl's video. Lastly, let's talk about public invites. Okay, it was last on the roster when I introduced my concepts to you guys. It was last because you cannot just post publicly and expect your inbox to be flooded with interest emails. It just doesn't work that way. And honestly, it's a good thing that it doesn't work that way, because one of the biggest parts of this business is the relationships that we build with people. The people that we connect with need to know that we're on their side, that we're rooting for them, that we're there to support them. And you just simply can't give all of that across in a simple post on your Facebook page or your Instagram or wherever. So as you continue to build credibility with consistency, you will start to attract people to you. You absolutely will. I say that with confidence because it's happened to me. And so as you build, you will build credibility with your consistency. So let me describe that a little bit more, especially for some of our newer coaches. What does that look like? Our consistency means showing up every day on social media and talking about what's going on in your day. Maybe that's talking about your program. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's talking about something to do with your family, or maybe it's just some way that you've related to other people, or maybe it's talking about your meal plan, or it's sharing something of value. It doesn't really matter. The consistency is just measured by you showing up on social media and talking about what lifestyle that you're living, okay? So it's very broad, it's very general, but that's what I mean. So that consistency of showing up in social media and showing up committed to a healthy lifestyle is what is going to build your credibility. So as you do that, I'm talking months and months and years, you will start to attract people to you. You will see that people will initiate conversations about challenge groups because of your posts. So it's not unheard of. It absolutely will happen. It just can't be the only thing that you count on. So use it to complement the personal invites that you send out. So these are just some examples of public invitations. This is a recent postpartum progress of mine, and then one that I used in the past when I was already at my goal weight. So maybe you don't have weight to lose physically, or maybe your transformation isn't something that can be seen on the outside. That's okay. That shouldn't deter you from posting publicly about the journey and about what you offer. So the physical transformation, the physical proof is very important for those of us who do have the weight to lose, or who do have the room in our lifestyles to get healthy and to make improvements. But don't forget those of you who are very athletic, or who don't necessarily have pounds to lose. There is still something to be said about you posting, being proof the products work, posting about your confidence in the products, posting about the life change that you're seeing because of the products and the programs that you're using. So that's the public invite. My suggestion to you, if you are serious about building your business, you should be posting publicly some sort of invite. It doesn't have to be this formal, but some sort of invite should be posted 3 times a week. I stand firm by that because you assume people see your stuff on Facebook and they just don't. So more frequency in posting along with the other things of your life, it's important so that your stuff gets seen and the word gets out there. Okay, so thank you guys for the love. So that's the public invitation, okay? And it absolutely cannot ever just be banked on. You have to use that as a complement to your personal invites. Okay, so more training on public invites is on our team website. So that's going under a massive overhaul as well. But if you go to dynastyunited.com, you'll see the start here. option and then taking the plunge, and then you'll see something that says need some ideas, and you can click this little arrow by inspo, and it will have a ton of just different posts, different tweaks on what wording that you can use, graphics, inspiration. And I put a note there, do not just copy and paste somebody else's invite, but use it as inspiration. On the bottom right here, you'll see that there's a password for the scripts section, and the password is simply Dynasty. And then the last thing I wanted to give you as a resource for public invites is I've done a team call on it before. So it's called How to Master the Challenge Group Invites on my YouTube channel. It's super easy to find. It's public. It's got a lot of great information. So if you feel like you need some help in that area, just dig into the resources that are available to us. Okay, last point here, and I'm closing us out. So I want to challenge us all to rephrase that first vital behavior. Instead of saying invite, 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 I want you to change it in your mind to attract, connect, invite. Okay, so instead of invite, 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 attract people to you, connect with them, and then invite them. The other vital behaviors make a huge impact on how effective you are with inviting. Like I said before, your credibility is built with your consistency. If you are a coach that is off and on, never posting, and then all of a sudden posting, unfortunately, from the outside looking in, that looks like you're not serious. That looks like somebody that can't be counted on, just from the outside looking in. That may not be the case. There may be a lot of reasons why you don't, but that's what it looks like to other people. So your consistency in the other vital behaviors is just crucial. So personal development, being proof the products work, recognition, whether it be yourself, you're another challenger, a teammate of yours, the team that you're on, a coach of yours if you have coaches on your team. So all those vital behaviors make a huge impact on how effective you are with inviting. The more confident you are with the vital behaviors, all of them, all four of them, I guarantee you're going to be a powerhouse at inviting because you've got the confidence within you to back it up. Okay, so attract, connect, invite. What does it mean to attract? It means to engage in conversations or posts that will attract people to you. Focus on the goals of health and fitness or financial freedom and independence. So think about what it is that you're talking about with other people in person, and think about the things that you're posting on social media. Are they focused on those goals of health and fitness? Are they focused on those goals of financial freedom or financial independence? That is going to attract people who are like-minded, who have a need for something that you have to offer. So just take inventory of the type of conversations that you're having, the type of posts that you're putting out there, and make sure that you make some tweaks to focus in on what it is that you offer so that you can attract those people to you. Okay, what does it mean to connect? Connecting is all about finding out their goals. So whoever it is that you're talking to, whoever has a little bit of an interest in what you're doing, it's so important that you find out their goals and how you can help, not sell. Of course, we all want to make a commission. Of course, we all want to support our families financially, and we want to reach financial goals. But that can never be second to helping people. Or that should always be second to helping people. It can never come first. Helping people has to be first. It always has to be. And so we are a multi-level helping company. And once you help them and you show them that you are invested in what they need and you are simply there to support them, I guarantee you will have an opportunity to invite them to something, whether it be a challenge group, a free group, coaching opportunity, a local meetup, anything like that. Okay, lastly here, what does it mean to invite? Ask them. Actually have the words come out of your mouth. Ask them if they would like to join you in your upcoming challenge group, if they've ever considered joining your team as a coach, or if all else fails, you can fall back on a free group. So you can approach it with a bold invite to a challenge group or a bold invite to becoming a coach on your team. And if they're like, oh, no, thank you, or I'm not sure I'm ready or whatever, you can always say, oh, hey, what about a free group? I have this free group coming up. And so you can fall back on the free group, or you can start with it in order to connect with somebody that's a new contact. If you don't feel comfortable inviting them right off the bat to something like a challenge group or your team, you can always say, hey, I'd love to get to know you more. This looks like maybe something you'd be interested in based on our conversation or based on what I've seen on your wall. Would you like to be included? Would you like a link to join my free group that's coming up? Okay, so that's what the invite is. All right, so here we go, wrapping up, and I am basically on time. My call to action to you guys, please listen up, and I'm going to post this in the Coach family. I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity here. The call to action is to invite from all 4 groups of people. Okay, so I want you to invite a family or a friend, family member or a friend. I want you to invite an acquaintance. I want you to invite a new contact, and I want you to invite a donut by Sunday night. Okay, so that's my challenge to you. That's the call to action. If you post a proud-faced picture of you in the Coach family page with the hashtag DU Family Challenge, you will be eligible for the gift card. So there'll be a gift card giveaway for anyone that posts that by Sunday night. You have to have invited them. You have to post your proud selfie, and you've got a hashtag DU Family Challenge. And that's going to be your call to action. I just want you to get your feet wet. I want you to get started. I want you to keep practicing. And I think that's the most important thing that we all can do is just put all this stuff into action. Lastly, because I respect your time, I told you I was going to give you guys something that you can practically take away from this call every single week. And so this is my plug-in to you. This is a calendar that I created for my PS coaches. Let me take myself off of there in case you want to screen. You can screen grab that. This is just some suggestions. Again, credibility is achieved through consistency. And so on social media space, it's important that you invite, that you post, that you share. And so this calendar will give you ideas of what to post. As far as the call to action, you just need to invite one person from each category. And then, of course, I challenge you to go above and beyond that. So if you want to screen share or screenshot this for yourself, I will probably post it in the Coach family as well. But if you want to have it now, feel free. Take note of tomorrow's challenge, or tomorrow's what to post is to share a screenshot from tonight's family call. So maybe take a picture of yourself with the webinar in the background. Talk about plugging in with your team, the community. Use all of this stuff as an opportunity to talk about it. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate all of you. We had an amazing turnout. I am so proud. I can't believe that it's been this long since we've gotten together, and there's nothing but amazing things coming. So we will see you next week, Thursday at 8:52. Bye, everybody. See ya.
Hey guys, it's Lady Gaga. I just wanted to drop you a line. Cut me up like a knife and I feel it deep in my bones. You can have it, I left even harder. You wanna know? I just wanna dive in the water with you, baby. We can't see the bottom. It's so easy to fall for each other. I'm just hoping we catch one another. Oh, no, just be careful, no. Love ain't simple, no. Promise me no promises. Oh, no, just be careful, no. Love ain't simple, no. Promise me no promises. Think about you and I feel it deep in my heart. Maybe we just stay meant to be something. Maybe I just wanna dive in the water with you, baby. We can't see the bottom. It's so easy to fall for each other. I'm just hoping we catch one another. Oh, no, just be careful, love ain't simple, promise me no promises. Oh, no, just be careful, love ain't simple, promise me no promises. can't see the bottom. I just wanna dive in with you. I just wanna lie here with you. Oh, just be careful, love is simple. Promise me no promises. Oh, just be careful, love is simple. Promise me no promises.